everyone, today I have a very special video for you. I am doing a collaboration with Henna Fixation. We are doing the henna design challenge. In this challenge, we would each draw out a very small piece of design on a hand, and then we would add challenges in. For example, you have to complete this design, but you cannot include mandalas in it. We would then swap over the hands and try and complete it. I was planning on going a little bit easier on Henna Fixation because I didn't want it to be difficult. That is, of course, until I received her challenge. So if you take a look at her challenge, she's given me, first of all, the most awkward design on the hand that I have ever seen. I don't know what to do with that anyway. And then she added in the challenge of not including any circular shapes. No, not just circles, circular shapes. So not only am I not allowed to do stuff like mandalas or dots, but I'm not allowed to do stuff like flowers, which have circular shapes. That's a serious challenge and an incredibly difficult one at that. So at that point, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to go easy on you, Henna Fixation. So if you want to see the challenge that I set her, please do head over to her channel. Link will be in the description, and I'll also include a link on the eye thing that comes up on the top right hand corner of your screen. And yeah, let me just talk about what I came up with. So in the challenge, Henna Fixation very kindly limited me to pretty much lines, and therefore I decided I am going to be using African henna and Moroccan henna as my style inspiration. African and Moroccan henna does use a lot of lines. They may also have little vines in there and stuff like that, but generally there aren't very many circular shapes. I decided to take inspiration from the stuff that I had Googled and came up with this design. If you look at the challenge that Henna Fixation set me, however, I'm not just limited to, or rather excluded from using circular shapes. I also have to make sure that the shape she has on the hand is the focal point of the entire design. While I was coming up with the design, like I often do, I ended up with a lot more detail in the design than I thought I would end up with. As a result, that design that she has drawn on the hand was not the focal point. So then I had to either redo the design or find another way of making it the focal point. And I think, or at least I hope, I have succeeded in the challenge. I'm not going to tell you what I did just yet, but I want you to take a look at what I am using to draw or henna the design on my hand, and I want you guys to tell me or try and figure out how I've made that design that Henna Fixation drew the focal point of the design. If you haven't watched my new henna trend video, then you probably will not be able to figure it out, but if you have watched it, I've pretty much given you a huge clue as to how I made that part of the design stand out. I always get asked this question, and for some reason I have been forgetting to include that information in my videos, but I'm going to remember it this time. The henna cone that I am using is a mixture of Raj and Jamila, and this is the henna cone that I do have on sale right now on my eBay page and also on my Facebook page. You can easily get a hold of those pages by looking in the description to this video or going to my Instagram page and clicking on the link in my bio. So you are able to buy the exact same henna cone that well, not the exact same henna cone, but a paste made using the same recipe. Something that I will mention, which you may notice throughout the video, is that sometimes I had a lot of trouble draping the lines, and that's not the fault of the henna cone, it's the fault of my wrist, because I have repetitive strain injury right now on my right wrist, and while I was taping this video, I had to try and look past it or tolerate it, but it was incredibly difficult for me to do this challenge because of the repetitive strain injury. I am going to reveal what I did with the downward triangle to make it stand out. So if you don't want to find out just yet and you want to take a shot at guessing, please pause the video now. In order to make the downward triangle stand out, I used henagua on that part of the design. Everything else was done with henna, so I ended up with the typical henna stain, but then the downward triangle was done using henagua, which means that I ended up with a black stain in that area, and that's how I chose to make that downward triangle stand out. I personally think that was a fun way of sticking to the challenge criteria. I don't know if Henna Fixation will agree, but please do let me know if you think I have succeeded, and of course Henna Fixation let me know if you think that I have succeeded. Seriously though guys, if you haven't checked checked out Henna Fixation's channel, I would highly recommend doing so. She has a lot of information that will help brand new henna artists as well as henna artists who have been in the game for a long time. It's just a wealth of knowledge. Definitely a channel to check out and subscribe to. I will honestly say that doing this challenge was incredibly difficult for me, and that's because I'm not used to doing designs with just pure line work in it. And as a result, I think that as a henna artist, I have grown a lot more. So I would highly recommend that you guys try this challenge out with somebody, anybody, it doesn't matter who. If you are going to do this challenge though, I would recommend doing it with somebody who has a very different henna style from you, because obviously they're going to recommend or create challenges in line with their own style of henna, which will conflict with yours and help you grow as a henna artist. If you do take part in the challenge, please hashtag henna design challenge when you post it on social media, on Instagram, etc., because we would absolutely love to see if you take part. I don't really think there's anything more that I can say. I just had a tremendous amount of fun with this collab, which I think I've mentioned about 1,000,000 times. I'm just blabbing now, and I'm just gonna say bye. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.